So Billy, last week we talked about Dato' Riza Rizwan, the man behind Khazanah National, and this week we are looking specifically on its commercial fund.
Yeah.
And the one that caught our eye is Time.com. It's the best performer, about 913% over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. Are you surprised, and do you think they would hold on to the stock?
Yeah, I was very surprised as well. But then if you look at the results that Time has been delivering, then it makes sense because since Afzal came in as the CEO for the group, the company has been performing. It turns profitable since 2009 and it has always been profitable. So despite of the challenges in the telco industry, they've been doing very well, right? So yeah.
So one part I'm a little bit hazy is that they talked about they want to make their assets portfolio based. What does that actually mean really?
So I think when Khazanah, the MD, came in and said, it's no longer like how it used to be where you grow a GLCs and do all the transformation and make them become a giant Asian companies. It's now more on, they're just going to manage it as how fund managers do. So it's basically like how EPF works. So in this case, for companies like that is under the commercial pool of fund, right, or pool of assets, right. So this pool of assets will not be, it's not their core assets. That means that they can actually dispose it if they think that that they want to take in the profit or if they want to cut losses. So take Time for an example, right? It has done so well. So there will always be that question: is it time for Khazanah to actually dispose them?
So talking about diversification or talking about making the fund more portfolio based, they have actually stake in Axiata, Time.com, and also another company as well. So 3 companies. So how are they going to manage this fund? So
for Khazanah specifically, if you look at the telco industry, right? So Khazanah actually has about, I think, 17 billion close to in that the company is TM, Axiata, and Time. So it's about more than 10% of their realized net asset value. So that is when you look at it from a portfolio base that they might probably want to do some adjustment if that's what Khazanah intends to move into, right? So for companies like Time and Axiata, there might be a chance that Khazanah might actually wanted to take in some profit or dispose them. But the problem is that even if they want to dispose these companies, it's not as easy as it is. Like, it's not like as easy as when I want to dispose of stock, it can be done immediately. But because they hold so much stake in companies like Time and Axiata, so there will always be that liquidity constraint for them. Yeah.
So basically there are 2 ways in restructuring assets, either cutting losses or selling stake in some of the best performance companies. So he has hinted that he wants to cut losses in some of these companies like UEM, Sunrise, and also Astro. How did he actually say that?
If you read the interview, basically Shahriar is saying that they are willing to cut losses. So Khazanah will cut losses if they think that there is no longer prospect, the growth is no longer there. So the whole idea is that these assets must be able to meet the long-term growth target for Khazanah, right? So it's not just the losses. The losses, of course, is important, right? So if you might want to mitigate your losses, but at the end of the day, it's about whether there is this growth potential in the companies that they are in, right? So.
Now, one of the interesting stocks, just now I mentioned about Astro. Astro has tanked about 30% over the past 1 year, right? And a lot of investors, they shied away from this company because a lot of alternatives out there. So do you think Khazanah would actually, parasitic, or do they still hold on? Will they still hold on to this?
So if you talk about cut losses, then probably, Astro looks like the one to go to lah. But then again, what happened to Astro over the last 1 year was really because of the competition that is in the media industry, and Astro is not the only one that suffer. Basically, all media industries suffer, right? But Astro take a bigger hit because you have, Netflix coming in, iFlix, View, and even Dim Sum, right? So, and then there's also the piracy of things, right? So, but with the recent talks on, fight against digital piracy that the government has been talking about, I think it's a positive sign, and most analysts view it positively. So despite of the decline seen in Astro, right, most of them are actually optimistic that there might be value emerging for Astro. Reason being because if digital piracy is being fought against, then one of the Astro strength is, of course, their live sports channel and all that, which would be an attraction. Right now, a lot of them have actually shifted away from that because of the the Android box TV that actually allows you to access to all this channel illegally. So if that happens, so they might actually regain some of the subscribers. So if you look at reports from CIMB and all that, you actually notice that a lot of analysts are starting to be bullish on Astro. So to say Khazanah will cut loss on Astro, that might not be the accurate answer. At the end of the day, it is about whether the company still has value in it. So that's the objective for the sovereign wealth fund. Yeah.
Right. You know, some actually think that it's time for Khazanah to diversify into other sector, to put money in better use, you know, buy assets in overseas. What do you think?
I think, again, if you look at the interview, right, so Shari actually made it very clear that, you know, when the disposal done on IHH, they actually sell about, I think, 16% to Mr. H. So that amount of money will be used to for more on their overseas exposure, right? Of course, he never mentioned which one that they're going into, but the point is that they cannot do it immediately. It will take about 7 to 10 years because, like I said earlier, right, all these stocks that they are holding on, they have a big stake in it. Like I think 20%, 60% in UM Sunrise as well. So all these stocks, they have so much stake in it. So for them to dispose, it will take time. But if there is a strategic partner, like for IHH case, there's Mitsui, so then they can actually sell it to them. So yeah.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.